Now, what in the Carnival is going on here? So a Carnival cruise ship has recently caught fire. And what's interesting about this entire situation is not only the rumored cause of the fire, this is also the second time a fire has happened on this exact same ship in the exact same location within arguably a pretty short time frame. Now, we will go over the details of this story. However, I do have to tell you guys straight up, in my personal opinion, it seems like God, the universe, the tree of might, or whatever higher power you believe in, doesn't want this particular part of the cruise ship to exist. By the way, before we get into this full video clip of the fire, as well as the details of this flaming hot situation that has taken place, I do have to very briefly address the cruise ship in the room. As many of you know, for the past week, I've been kind of MIA. Unfortunately, some of you may already know, my son was rushed to the hospital in an emergency situation, had to get surgery. Thankfully, he is recovering now. He's still at the hospital, but I've been kind of back and forth. And at the same time, I have my girlfriend moving in from France. We've been waiting 2 years for it. A lot of real life stuff going on, and there are times where I have to prioritize my regular life outside of YouTube. I'm not just sitting at this desk, believe it or not, or gallivanting all over the world on board cruise ships. I'm a regular human with regular things that I take care of. However, things are, let's say, organized now, and I'm back, and I do have a lot of videos I have to catch up on, so I will get to them as soon as possible. Just kind of bear with me. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody that has reached out to me in support. Now, let's go ahead and get into the news.
Holy crap.
That is not good.
Why is our tail on fire? That's not good, y'all.
Nope.
Oh my god.
That is bad.
This is pretty wild. As we're standing out here on our balcony with storming and we're on fire. This ship is on fire.
It's not good. Make sure to like it.
Holy crap. We're
And you might have noticed that we turned the vessel towards the heavy rain in the area to maximize the efforts to put out the flames. Eyewitnesses reported the possibility of a lightning strike, and that is being investigated, but cannot yet be confirmed. Only essential safety personnel should be on the open decks. There are no injuries, and we want to keep it that way. Please remain away from balconies and open decks. The port side portion of the funnel has fallen onto deck 10, and the fire response is putting out the flames. This situation has not impacted any operational systems on the ship, and we will continue to update you as we know more.
one chair overboard. She's a-blowing, folks. She's a-blowing.
The ship that this unfortunate conundrum took place on was the Carnival Freedom cruise ship. Initially launched in the year 2006, so it's a 17-year-old cruise ship. Some would argue it's a little bit on the older side, the more seasoned side. However, it is still holding strong to this day. Well, at least most of it. The ship was sailing out of Port Canaveral, Florida, going to the Bahamas and back. During the third day of this sailing, which was yesterday, March 23rd, on a Saturday, the ship was heading to its private island over in the Bahamas known as Princess Cay. During the afternoon hours, according to sources, they heard a loud bang. People would then go outside to see that the port side of the iconic whale tail funnel was on fire. What's being rumored at this point in time as the alleged cause of the fire was a lightning strike to the port side or left side of the whale tail funnel. Like I said, it is unconfirmed at this point in time. As you also saw in the video, when the fire did start, to hopefully extinguish it a little bit faster, the captain decided to turn the ship into a storm, and hopefully the rainwater was to come down and extinguish the fire a little bit faster. They did have fire crews respond. At this point in time, there has been no reports of any injuries, but there were 2 fire crew members on board that were treated for smoke inhalation. Thankfully, at this time, the fire has been extinguished, and the Carnival Freedom is currently en route to Freeport, Bahamas. As many of you know, there is somewhat of a shipyard over there, so I'm assuming they're going to go to assess the damage. As far as statements, Carnival has acknowledged what has happened. They haven't put out a clear statement as far as the cause of the fire, nor whether if there's going to be any delays or anything that will potentially be affecting the next sailing. Now, what's interesting and odd about this story here is that just 2 years ago, roughly around late May of 2022, there was a similar fire that happened on this same ship, the Carnival Freedom, in the same area, the whale tail tail funnel. Now, given the causes, at least at this point in time, differed. There was a lightning strike apparently for this one. The other one was reported to be some type of engine issues that was taking place, and the iconic whale-tail funnel had to be removed from the Carnival Freedom. I was on that ship about a year ago for a Super Bowl cruise. It didn't have the whale-tail funnel at the time, and they just put another new and refurbished whale-tail funnel back on board the Carnival Freedom just months ago, and now we have this unfortunate situation that's take place. Now, maybe I'm a little crazy by saying this, but I do believe this situation is some kind of sign. I would assume that if it is confirmed to be a lightning strike that took place, wouldn't they call that an act of God? Meaning that since this has already happened as far as a fire on board the Carnival Freedom, and just a few months ago they have now put a new funnel on board the ship, and now a lightning strike decides to put that same whale-tail funnel that was originally in place on fire once again. I do believe that it is a sign that whoever the powers that be, like I said at the beginning of the video, do not want this whale-tail funnel on board that ship. Either that, or I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's a sign that they need to throw the whole ship away, go ahead and junk it, or maybe even sell it. No, I'm joking. The Carnival Freedom is a very beautiful, well-maintained ship. I did enjoy my time on board. However, let's be real here. If this were to happen a third time, I don't think anybody can make the argument that somebody somewhere is trying to tell Carnival to do something with that cruise ship. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. If you were on board during this conundrum that took place, or maybe even the last one 2 years ago, let me hear your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, if you want to book a cruise, even on the Carnival Freedom, because as of right now, it is set to still be operating, you can book with myself as well as my travel agent sponsors and partners over at Lux Rally, the link of which will be in the description box below as well as pinned in the comments. I appreciate all of you, I love all of you, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.